Pedro from A&P-REACTS. I'm here today with Margarita from Edge of Paradise. How's it going?
Hi, thank you for having me. It's going good.
It's my pleasure. I was actually, to be honest with you, I was waiting for the tour that you guys supposedly going to be on later on in the summer, so that we could chat in person when you guys come to Toronto. But now I don't even know if that tour is going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with the world that we're living in. So this kind of speeds up the conversation that I was planning on having with you, anyways.
Yeah, well, it's not canceled yet, so we just have fingers crossed. We saw some bands actually announcing tours in September, and some are rescheduling for September. So it still might happen. We just, hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's all really all you can do right now.
Yeah.
How you dealing with these trying and difficult times?
I mean, we're okay. It's kind of scary and unsettling, but we were lucky that our European tour kind of ended right before this whole thing started. So we had, a great experience on that tour, and it was really great for the band. And now, we're laying low. We are trying to stay active. We do a lot of, acoustic versions. Post some videos online. Like we posted the tour video for one of our songs. Then we're working on the new album, so we're going into the studio to record. So, trying to stay active, be positive, and engage the fans to hopefully uplift them through this as well.
You kind of touched on the next topic that I wanted to go in, which is, are you using, which obviously you guys are using this time to work on new material for a new record?
Yeah, we actually already have about 3 songs written that we're starting to record for the new album. We got the new album cover art, so uh, trying to move that along just in case the tour doesn't happen. Everything gets pushed back. We will have, new material.
How is that songwriting process going? Because with everything that's happening, it's difficult to travel to get together. So how do you guys coping with that during this time?
Well, we have a home studio that we work in, and that we demo a lot of the songs that way. And then we, like, for example, with our drummer, we send him the tracks, and then, these days you can do so much online. So he programs the drums, sends them back, and then we kind of go from there. There's a studio that's close by. So, we're staying the most that we have in a room is like 3 or 4 people, so that's okay. We're trying to do all we can to keep safe, but still go and do some recording.
It also helps you stay a little bit sane, so you don't go crazy at home
Yes,
watching
and
Netflix and Tiger King.
exactly. And I think just the way artists are, if you're not creating, if you're not doing something, it's kind of like makes you very anxious. So I think it's important to just keep staying, doing what you do.
Yeah. So the album came out last year. Universe came out last year. Now that you look back, because now it's been almost half a year since the album came out, so you can look back with a clear mind and assess everything that happened around the release. If you have to go back and look at that, how would you say the overall fan reception to the album was?
Um, it was really good. We were very lucky that people responded the way they did. Overall, we got really positive response to it, and like when we made the album, Dave and I, we just put everything into it. We really took our time with songwriting, and then we just got the best production team that we could to make sure the songs are on the highest level. So we put, it was pretty much and everything we had, and then all our sanity. We put it all into the album, and it's always hard because the music it's a little bit different, and getting the reception that we did, um, it kind of fueled the fire for us as well, because we had a great tour, and then like the Spotify is growing, and just overall the band has been growing a lot since the release of the album, and then having the support of the label. Overall, it's been really good. So that's why we're really hoping this next tour doesn't get canceled, so we can keep our momentum going.
Yeah, you guys are definitely riding a wild train since the album came out. You staying busy, always busy on social media. So I'm honestly hoping that that tour goes through, because that tour is absolutely sick. The lineup of bands is absolutely phenomenal. So, but just in case, that's
Thank
why
you.
we're here chatting today. So just in case. Now, as you look back at that record and you look at the new one that you guys already started to work on some songs. Are you taking a different creative approach from this record versus the previous record, or you guys are staying with the same style, same approach?
I don't. I wouldn't say a different approach. Our music always evolves, and we try not to force it. But for example, like the newer songs, um, I want to say like the one that we're recording now, it would be a perfect fit with Beast in Black and HammerFall. So it's just kind of what is the inspiration in the current moment, and like lyrically, it's very um like it's about what's going on these today, and it's basically I always draw inspiration from the current moment. So whatever direction the song will take, we kind of find that out after it's already done. But we're still, we're working with the same team. Mike Plotnikoff is producing, and Jacob Hansen is going to mix it. So sound-wise, it's going to be similar to Universe, but I think that the songs have even more energy, and there's a little more guitar heavy, and I think we always keep evolving as musicians and as artists. So for us the main thing is just to keep growing musically and creatively, and just keep reaching for what are the stars, I
The
guess.
stars, yeah. You mentioned the European tour that you guys were on with Sonata Arctica. That was a huge tour for you guys. How was that experience in Europe, touring with such a big band?
Um, it was crazy. It was great, and we were lucky that the opening band Temple Balls, who are actually on our label now, and us and Sonata Arctica, we all got along great, and they're such amazing people, and everybody was very supportive of each other, and it was just a lot of fun, and we learned a lot just because the venues were bigger, and it was our first tour that was that long for so many dates back to back. So actually I was a bit nervous going on this tour vocally, because the songs they're not that very easy to sing and every day, and also it was kind of it was cold over there, so I was just praying that I'm not going to get sick. So it's just kind of pacing yourself and taking care of yourself, and performing, giving it 100%, and basically doing what you do on such a big level, but still trying to take care of yourself so you can last for that long. Um, and it was interesting to see the audience. Like in some countries, the audience are like so exuberant and they're loud, and some countries were like, oh my god, I think they hated us. But then we sold so much merch that you never know how people express how they like a band. So it was really interesting to see.
How did you manage to survive that long of a tour surrounded by all those guys on the bus?
Oh god. Well, the guys, everybody is super respectful, and we actually got a lot of sleep. We had a few bus issues, like I think any tour would have. Like the first week, our bathroom didn't work, so we're like, oh my god. And then like the heater wouldn't turn off, so we were like sweating in there. But overall, I think just the whole excitement of it really gives you adrenaline, and um, you know keep it takes you through the whole experience. So Plus, Europe has amazing food, so we got fed really well. So.
And any crazy stories from the road that will stay with you? Is there anything specifically that happened that one day in your memoirs you'll be adding that story to it?
Oh my god, the whole thing probably. Well, I mean, we had a lot of adventures. Like sometimes the bus would park, um, and it wouldn't leave till like 3 or 4 in the morning. So we would just go outside and walk through the cities. Like we had a couple of nights in France where we just like wandered. And I think the really cool experience was we had a show in Paris, and the traffic was so bad and we really wanted to see Paris. So we got to the show, and then we had some fans like Oliver and a lot of people that have been following us for quite a few years. And they're finally like, oh my God, they're coming to Paris, because the tour was kind of announced last minute as well. So these people, you know, they came to the show, and then they knew that we didn't get a lot of time to you know, see Paris. So right after we got off stage, they had like a whole operation how to get us to the Eiffel Tower. So we got on the subway, and they kind of like, they had all the tickets prepared so we could go in the subway, and then they found the shortest routes, and we were just kind of running through the city. And it was just a really cool experience how these people that we've never met before, but you know, obviously knew from online and communicated with them and just built relationships. And you know, they put so much effort into, you know, taking care of the band that they love. So
It's amazing how music brings people together, you know?
definitely. And it's just so rewarding to see how you can you know, bring some light to somebody's life and see them excited about the music. It's just the best feeling.
So you guys had a great night in Paris. I saw some of the pictures that you posted. It looked like it was really cold. You had this big fur jacket on.
Yeah.
You looked like you were ready to attack Alaska or Siberia or something like that. I guess
That
from the West
jacket.
Coast. I guess going from the West Coast, sunny West Coast, all the way to Europe, because you guys were touring in November, December. I think you guys came back right in December. So you really picked perhaps some of the colder months to go to some of those countries in Europe. It was just funny to see you with a big jacket. Like
It kept me alive. Everybody was jealous because everybody was freezing. Like, I'm not cold at all. Yeah, I had that jacket ever. I mean, because our first show was in Sweden, and that was cold. It was cold in a lot of countries.
Yeah, I can imagine. The pictures the pictures really paint that picture, that's for sure. You mentioned the fans being different. So for you, looking back at that tour, considering the fans when you play shows in North America, do you feel like there's a different vibe, there's a different energy, and does that affect the way you guys perform live when you're perhaps not used to having fans react in the way that they did back in that European tour?
Yeah, I think for me, I kind of feed off the crowd. And you know, at first it's kind of scary because a lot of the fans of Sonata Arctica had no idea who we are, but a lot of them actually, you know, they listened on Spotify, so they knew who we were. But sometimes, like, you could tell if people are like, who are these people, you know, and then they give you a chance, and then they warm up to you, and then by the end of the set, they're with you. So I'm always a little bit nervous at the beginning of the set to make sure that, you know, I grab the people and bring them in. So, you know, to get that response, it kind of fuels me. So when sometimes like Belgium and Denmark, the crowd was really quiet, but that's just how they are. They're quiet for everybody, and then they really support you at the merch table. So, and then they come and, you know, say hello, but they're very like
Very reserved.
proper people, I guess. You know, it's kind of like similar to Japan. I remember in Japan, they wait till the very last note, till it's silent, and then they start clapping for you. So that's kind of a terrifying experience because Japanese fans, they're super supportive, but you know, they're very respectful. So sometimes it can come across as like, do they like it? I think in America, people are generally louder. So,
They'll
but
let you know right away.
yeah, but I don't know. Like for example, Germany. I mean, we covered so many countries. Like Eastern Europe, they were insane. Um, they are so loud, and their hands are in the air all the time, and they're jumping, and then after they hug you, and it's just like different countries. People are just so the way they express themselves. Like I said earlier, it's really interesting.
Yeah, you're like thinking, oh man, nobody liked the set, and then when you get to the merch stand, everybody's buying stuff. It's like, wow, this is odd.
Yeah.
For I'm selling more shirts here than I ever did before. Meanwhile, we didn't get any emotion out of the fans during the live show. That is
Yeah.
a strange combination of effects for sure. And buying merch is a huge deal for bands like yourselves, or every band these days hitting the road. That's really one of the main ways for you guys to earn revenue. Do you guys enjoy that moment where fans come up to you, buy your merch, they want to talk to you guys, they want to get an autograph? How does that feel? Like, does that give you an extra like butterflies in your stomach that your music, your art is being appreciated?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for a new band, that's pretty much the most important thing. It's just how to keep the band going is to be able to sell merchandise. And I mean, it's so weird because when you're an artist, I don't think an artist is a salesperson, but you kind of have to be, and that's the part that I don't think a lot of us like, and I particularly, you know, not a big fan of like trying to sell it to people. So I love, like, after shows, I love to meet everybody, and I mean we all do. We all always go to our table and are there to meet people and say hello and talk to them and get to know them and just kind of tell them a little bit about the merchandise, because I had like all the merchandise had our secret language, and it just had a lot of hidden things that were cool that I thought people would like. So I always kind of tell them what it's about, and then when they buy it and support it, it's really like we feel very grateful, because I think a lot of people get that that's kind of that's how they support a band. So it feels we're just grateful that people did that and they bought merch. um, so it's just one of those things. It's just part of the business. And you know I think even with regardless of that, for me it's a really fun thing to meet people after the show. So
By the way, one of the bands that hopefully is going to be on the tour with you guys in North America is Beast in Black. Giannis, the lead singer, one of the secrets for his great voice is dipping pizza into Greek yogurt and eating it. So
what?
yeah, when if the tour goes through, you have to ask him to show you. Apparently, that's a thing. He loves dipping pizza into yogurt and then eat. I don't honestly. I don't even know how that would taste. I haven't tried it yet. I don't need to try it for my voice, but I'm just even thinking how the taste would go. Uh, as far as you're concerned, I don't think you do that. But what do you do on the road in order to keep your voice fresh for such a long tour?
That's definitely interesting. I'll have to ask him. But what I do, I always try to have ginger with tea and honey. And actually, like on the last tour, all the venues, they had a tea and then honey and ginger. So I guess a lot of people do that. But I always cut it up and put it in hot water and just sip on it throughout. And I guess it helps.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh, keeps it
Mm-hmm.
nice. Who are the biggest influences that you have musically when you look at perhaps not just the band, but like singers themselves? So not just necessarily a band as a whole, but singers as well. Who do you look up to as your main influences?
Well, I've always been a big fan of Ron and James Dio, because I love how every every song, every word that comes out of his mouth is just so full of passion. And I think that's what rock and metal is about, is just to put emotion into, your music. So I always loved the Ronnie James Dio. Um, I mean, I'm a fan of industrial music, so like Nine Inch Nails and Rammstein, and I love the live show and just the creativity behind it. And I like that sort of sometimes that futuristic look, like the keyboard player from Rammstein. I think it's the coolest. But yeah, I mean, I love all music, and I grew up on classical music, so I mean, I always loved Robert Plant as well. And I mean, lately I've been, listening to a lot of Within Temptation. I really like their latest album. So yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have two more questions for you because I'm sure your arm is hurting you from holding the phone.
It's like I have it rested, so it's okay.
I'm thinking like she's struggling right now. She's gonna start cramping up on her arm. She's gonna drop the phone and
it's my workout because all the gyms are closed.
You need to have a strong core in order to hold the phone like that.
Yeah.
You guys are very active on social media, interacting with the fans, posting videos, doing all sorts of live streams, that kind of stuff. Do you feel like this is a huge part of today's music market in order to really be able to not just reach the fans, but stay connected with the fans?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's so many artists and bands out there that I think it's easy to kind of get lost in the mix. I mean, you can think of it that way, like if you're not active, you're going to be forgotten. But I don't think it's necessarily that, because I mean, from the beginning, we always wanted to create something that would kind of have its own life. But for us, it's more, we've always been like that. And I think it's part of Edge of Paradise world that people, that we're approachable, and we create this realm that people can be a part of, and we're kind of there with them. And it's one of the things that I really like to do. I love connecting with people and just kind of keep creating and sharing that. So it's just kind of part of who we are, I guess. But I think it's definitely very important. A lot of people, especially now, they're kind of living online, if you can say that. So yeah,
it's true. Everybody's stuck at home and looking for things to keep their minds busy and keep their minds occupied, so that they're not thinking of the chaos that it's in the world. And that leads me to my last question for you, which is, with a lot of bands these days doing live stream shows, concerts, that kind of stuff online, because they can't hit the road, they can do tours, they can do shows. Have you guys considered doing something like that? I know you guys done some acoustic stuff, some things along those lines, but a full-on band show, is that something that you guys would consider doing it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're gonna see how it plays out. If the tour gets canceled, then we're definitely gonna have to do something. A whole band. I mean, we've just kind of been doing these acoustic things. Um, it's just so hard for a band like us to do a full band performance and live stream because of the sound. You want to kind of do it justice. So it would take a bit of preparation, but it's something that we'll definitely have to look at if this keeps going for longer. I just hope it doesn't come back in the winter, because that's what
I know they're saying that there might be a second wave in the winter during flu season. I hope that's not the case, and I hope baby Jesus, Santa, whoever is in charge of Christmas, brings us a vaccine, so that 2021 can be a better year than this one, because this one has been a shit show.
I know. That's funny. It's one of the words in my song.
I mean, in my lifetime, this is the worst year ever. Like I cannot remember a year as bad as 2020. Like everything that has happened this year, it's been from bad to worse. It's just like, when you think that it cannot get any worse, possibly this cannot get any worse, something else happens that's even worse than what happened before. So
I know we started to have earthquakes. There was one this morning, so I just hope we don't have a bigger one here. So
yeah,
it's very, I mean, I've already watched all the conspiracy theories too, by the way.
You're not going to tell me that you're worried about the 5G towers, are you? Or
Yeah, I
flat
know
Earth,
all about that too.
or flat Earth. Let's not go down that route.
It's just crazy. I mean, maybe we'll have to leave this planet. I don't know. Go to Mars with Elon Musk.
All right. Before we go, is there anything you want to share with the fans? Any news? Any activities? Any things that you guys have planned? If you're going to try out pizza and yogurt and post a video about it, like.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll have to do that. But I just want to, say thank you to everybody, and hope you guys are staying safe. And if you need some entertainment, you can check out our, we've put out a few videos lately, acoustic for our song Fire. We put out a really fun video of the Europe trip, the European tour for our song Hollow. And we'll be doing more acoustic stuff. I think we're going to do an acoustic for Perfect Disaster on the Frontiers, our label's channel, next week. So we'll keep the entertainment coming for you guys, and just hope everybody stays safe and positive and active. I think that's very important to keep your mind, in that positive spectrum, so we can all get through this shit show.
I'm just glad on the acoustic front, you guys haven't taken the idea of perhaps doing a Nirvana cover. I don't know, maybe About a Girl or something like that, like the guys from Puddle of Mud did, because that was a disaster. I don't know if you've seen that video yet.
No, I have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out, and just make sure the volume is low.
Okay.
If you can check it out on mute, it's even better. So because it's not good. It's not good. All right. Thank you very much for your time today, Margarita. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the sunny weather. Hopefully no more earthquakes. And if the tour goes through, I'll guarantee you I'll be at the Toronto show. And maybe the three of us can try the pizza and the yogurt thing.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Really hope so. And thank you again. And hello to your son. You guys are awesome. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.